All day, all day. All right, we ready? All right, let's get it in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, said cash rules everything around me. Cream, dollar bills, y'all. There are so many songs that have been made about men and money. Bruno Mars, Billionaire, Cream, Wu-Tang Clan, Diddy, or at that time he was Puffy, he was Puff Daddy. But, I mean, there are so many different songs that have been out there about men and their money. And I think that definitely says something about how we position ourselves to feel more of a man or less of a man if we don't have a certain amount of money in our pockets. So this week I sat down and I talked with one of my close friends and brothers, confidants, Mr. Fortune Enrique. We talked about it and I got his point of view on it. And then I also talked with another one of my friends from high school, Mr. Gerald Jr. And he has shedded light on the situation as well. So I'm very excited to get into this conversation. Both of them had very different but very similar outlooks on it. You know, different ways of growing up, but very similar outlooks on how a man should handle his money and how a man should treat himself and treat his woman as well. So that was all very enlightening, and I just want to go ahead and get right into it. So episode 3, Cream, let's talk about it. Dive right in and let's talk about it. What do you think a man is supposed to be?
A man is supposed to be someone who says what they're going to do, who keeps their word, and someone who is driven, someone who is focused on always being better and bettering themselves.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So with that, you know, this episode is entitled Cream, Cash Rules Everything About Men. And I can see how that kind of can go into that, especially that last point that you made, always be trying to better themselves. Mm-hmm. How do you think this idea, this topic kind of ties into that?
From a monetary perspective, I would say being responsible. Basically making sure that you're living within your means, you're making sure you're just taking care of yourself in all aspects. So making sure you're getting your bills paid, but also making sure you're saving for like the future. Just being financially responsible, not just living in the present, but thinking about the future also. So okay. That's what I think when it comes to cash. Like, and cash ruling everything about a man, when it comes to that, it's kind of like being aware of the fact that like what money means, like what it represents and what it allows you to do, but also what it takes to hold on to it, and basically like make sure you're not going to do anything stupid or go with it or anything like that.
Yeah. I just want to start off kind of easy just to get our feet wet here, test the waters. What do you think a man is supposed to be?
That's a great question. A man is supposed to be a provider, a sense of security, having that sense of comfort and protection. You know, when you walk in the house, you know, you're supposed to feel like, you know, you're comfortable. You know, you got your man got you, right? You know, your kids are supposed to feel like your man got you. I mean, growing up, I always felt that way. Like when I walked in the house, I always felt like daddy was home for a reason. Just provide that sense of, like, you know, protection, comfort, security, like I mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm. That's what's up. So, like, you mentioned your dad, and I think that's always our first kind of reference as to what a man is and what they should be. Growing up, did your dad ever show you, what was it that he taught you, I guess, in a sense about money? What was that?
I mean, in a sense about money, to be completely transparent with you, my dad owns a lot of different businesses, and my mom's a nurse practitioner, so the way you look at it, I guess you could say my mom makes a little bit more money. Mm-hmm. So growing up, to me, money really didn't mean that much in the household because, for example, when we were younger, if you saw a wasp fly in the house or you saw a rat come in the house, the first thing you'll scream is "Daddy." There's a reason why you say "Daddy, kill it."
Right.
I mean, that's just a prime example of a man being that protector, providing that type of security or comfort. So growing up in a household, my dad taught me a lot about like saving, a lot about financial, because his first degree was finance from Tuskegee University. So he taught me a lot about my finances growing up. But it's not really about how much you make; it's how you spend it and how you save it. And he taught me a lot about that as well.
So, for y'all that don't know, me and Gerald, we were just talking before we started filming about, you know, getting ready to take this fine thing that you got coming on, whatever. You got her, you about to take her on a date. So, what do you think about like the monetary perspective in that aspect of it, about being able to take a girl out, wine and dine her, or sometimes you don't wine and dine her, you just want to chill with her? Like, what do you think what do you think about that?
To be honest, that plays a big part in me planning out what I'm gonna do with someone. I always try to make the best impression, but like I said, I'm not fresh out of college, but I was in college and everything like that, so I'm still getting acclimated to being an adult and everything like that. So to be honest, a lot of times you don't have the funds to want to do a complete wine and dine. So that's where you have to be creative in other aspects. But it does play a huge part in like me, like, Dad, I would love to hang out with so and so, but I just don't feel like, because I know me being a man, I'm a gentleman, so I'm gonna want to like pay for everything. So that just means that, but also knowing that if I can't do that, I will come up with a more creative way to,
So I mean, does it ever make you feel like you're less of a man if you feel, when the times when you think about that you can't, or that you wish that you were able to do a little bit more for this person?
Nah, not at all, because if the thought's there, then that's what it is. It's not always about spending the most money.
Right.
Because like I said, like I'm still, like, I know where I'm at, but I know what I'm working towards. So it doesn't like make me feel bad. It's just like knowing the stage I'm at right now. So I'm not gonna have all the money that I'm gonna have right now. Like I know I'm growing, like I'm getting better and everything like that. So yeah, so no, I don't think it's anything to be ashamed in saying, hey, I can't do it right now. I got something tied up right now. So yeah.
So what was the first time for you that you realized financially, like, about your manhood? Like, how did that define who you were as a man? I guess what was that first instance?
I don't know. When you grow up and you go into that collegiate stage or that college stage, you think the first time you're a man is when you take that girl out or take her on a date. You pay for everything. I mean, to me, it's a little bit more deeper than that. I think honestly, the first time I identified myself as a true man was a couple of weeks ago when I finally got my car, and I was like, wow, like I got a car note. I bought a pretty nice car. It's like a luxury type of car, and I was like, this is all me. There's no co-signer. There's no mom give me $1,000 or dad give me $1,000 to help pay the down payment. Got my own car, got my own insurance, so it's really all me. So it's just like, okay, like this,
this is mine.
This is
that's
all
mine.
me, like every penny of it. So I mean, nothing was easy, nothing was given. So I think that really, like a few weeks ago, or I think it was like a month or two ago when I first got it and made that purchase, I was like, yeah.
I mean, you bossed up on this for real, because I wasn't expecting that. I was like, hold on. Like,
man, I mean,
I was just talking to him about it, but he for real with it. I was like, whoa, okay.
I mean, if you know me, you know my favorite car is Mercedes, and you know, if you're one of my close friends, I probably talked to you about it recently. So, I mean, it was about that time.
I think that also is kind of cool to see that stuff like that sometimes can kind of help define you, I guess, in a sense, as a man too. But what were some other times, I guess, do you feel that only those kinds of moments where you can make big purchases and stuff like that, or where you can take the girl out, pay for everything or whatever, do you think those are more so defining moments because you feel like you are able to provide, or you're able to take care of stuff?
Yeah, in a sense. I mean, when you're taking the girl out, I mean, as a gentleman, I think the proper thing is to do, I mean, especially if you really like that girl, or even if she's like your close friend or your homie, I mean, just take the tab as a gentleman. But, I mean, not everybody got it like that. So if you can't take the tab, I know I have a good friend. There's one girl that, you know, he felt like every time they were going out, she was always paying for something because she had her master's, and he wasn't yet done with undergrad, so or his bachelor's degree. So I think they found a way to like really try to figure out who's really leading or who's really providing in a sense. But I'm not gonna lie to you, just to be completely honest. When a man can't pay for something, it kind of does take a shot at his ego. And not saying that's the only way you can provide for somebody in a relationship or a household, but it does have a good chunk of it. It's a good piece of it.
So, with all the Instagram stuff that's going on, I know y'all see the pictures where like girls are getting their nails done, and they like the captions like, "Fellas, you know, if you're not dropping $50 in your girl's bank account on a week to get her nails done, you know, you ain't bleeping, you ain't doing nothing for your girl." But is that in a sense of kind of pushing forward that mentality that like you can buy love or you can buy happiness? Do you feel like that?
Yeah, that's one of the things that I've always thought about when dating someone. Like, yes, I want to like give you the best and everything like that. But if I have to spend my money in order for you to be happy, that's not someone I want to be with.
Right.
Like, it takes balance. Like, yes, you should want to, not should want to, but or not like they have to have the best of everything. You know what I mean? But you should like if it's somebody you care about, you want them to like have nice things or just have like better, higher quality item, whatever it is. Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't think that should tie in with how like our relationship or anything like that. I feel like yes, like it's not like no one wants to be like around someone who's like cheap and everything like that. But I don't think that you have to spend money in order to find love or get someone. You know what I mean?
So on the flip side of that, have you ever had, or were you ever dating anyone and they were hitting you with like, you know, can you pay for this, can you pay for that, and blah, 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 blah. And how did you react to that?
It was a weird reaction because, not weird reaction, it was a weird like situation because I remember when I had that kind of circumstance, with someone asking me like to buy them certain things and things like that. I was young. I was like 20 at the time, so I thought that was like just completely like out of like not out of the question, but out of like I don't know who you think I am, but I'm still in college,
right?
Like
struggling.
Yeah, so yeah, I have had that, and it did like put things in perspective, you know what I mean, with that person, but. It's not like ill will, that's just like them or anything. But yeah, I'm not that kind of person to do that.
Okay. Like, does that consider me broke? I mean, I'm not. That's where I get a little confused because I know you're supposed to be asking questions here. I'm not trying to ask your question, but I'm just getting a little confused on what classifies broke. If my girl makes $5,000 more than me or $10,000 more than me, I mean, I could buy a Mercedes, but you could probably buy a Tesla. But that doesn't classify me as broke. I mean, you're just in a different bracket. You're just in a different industry. So, I mean, like I said, it all circles back. It all depends on how much it is. Like I said, it all depends on ego. There's a lot of egos in guys, let's be honest. We want to feel like we can pay for anything, pay for our bills, pay for our girls' dresses, their nails, whatever the case may be. But it's just that comfort of knowing that you could do it if you wanted to. It comes down to that.
So I think another cool thing that I was browsing through the interwebs, and something that I came across was the idea that men are starting to be more comfortable with the girl taking them out, be more comfortable with, you know, them kind of whining and dining them in a sense versus them having to do that. And that was kind of interesting to me because a lot of the guys that I'm around, that I have around me, my friends, line brothers, fraternity brothers, uncles, all these people, all these different types of men that I have around me, I've never really heard us talk about like just being okay with like the girl taking them out. And it's like, it's kind of interesting to me. It's a different kind of flip. And I was wondering, like, you know, I mean, I know you just said you love it, but like, how do you feel about stuff like that?
I love that idea. If a girl wants to, you know, spoil you and, you know, plan a nice date, get your toes done, you know, all that great stuff. I think that's really nice to flip the script on. I actually love that idea. I think that's where it comes to having a balanced household relationship, whatever the case may be in your type of scenario situation, is that yeah, a guy can, pay the bills, but, treat your guy out. Show him you got it too. Like, don't worry, honey, let me take this one. Let me handle this bill this month, stuff of that nature. I think it's kind of sexy and I think it's cool.
So that's a different show of like your masculinity. It kind of gives you the submissive side versus the sense of agency and like, I have this.
And so I always have wondered, has anybody else ever kind of felt that kind of quick fix kind of addiction to money? Like, have you ever felt that before?
I mean, everybody loves money. Like, that's just straight up. But one of the things I try to remember, like, with it's like the whole saying. I don't know who said it's a popular one, but it's like wealth isn't like how much you have, it's how much you don't need. So I just try to always like keep that in mind. Like when I feel myself whether becoming like addicted to spending money or like going through that phase where you just constantly like spending money, you start to like realize like, do I really need this, or is this like really gonna like, is this really like that big of a deal?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I try to keep that in mind, so to make sure I don't go overboard in either on either side.
Goes back to what my dad taught me. It's not always about how much you make. It's how much how much you really spend and how much you're actually saving. So, in this type of situation, when you want to compare it to if I hit a bump on the road and my salary went from 6 figures to $60K or something of that nature, and I have a girlfriend or wife, whatever the case may be, you just want to make sure that you're doing everything still in other areas, like cutting the grass, like making sure the house is still clean, taking out the trash, like doing stuff that a woman, yes, she can do that stuff. Yes, she can cut the grass. Yes, she can take out the trash. Yes, she can kill that cockroach, but still provide that sense of security, comfort, protection. Girls don't really want to do that all the time. Majority of the girls, not all girls, majority of the girls don't want to really cut the grass in hot heat. So just make sure you stay on top of that stuff. And most importantly, I think if you are struggling financially or your girl's making more money, just have a sense of emotion, like really touch her emotionally. It's really important. I'm starting to realize this each and every single day, that listening to your girl can really take you a long way. So that's probably one of my best advice. Just sit there and listen. Like, ask her, how was your day going? Just tell her you're proud of her. I'm proud of you. Nobody's telling her that she's proud of her. Like, she's been through all that stuff. So basically, the areas that you might be lacking in, overlap those areas and show positive strides in those areas so it can all balance out. Yeah, my man might not make the most money, or yeah, he's going through some things right now, but he makes me feel good. Yeah, he protects me. The house is clean. The relationship is still fun. I'm happy regardless. So let's not base it all down on money. But I mean, money is definitely a factor, but sometime in life we have our trials and tribulations.
All right, so we had another great week of conversations and dialogue about the topic for this week. And this week, I think it was pretty cool to hear guys talk about their financial situations and be open about how they feel money should be handled, especially within our generation. So I want to say thank you to those guys again for coming in and sitting down with me and being vulnerable. But now it's time to get into #female feedback. I want to hear from my ladies out there. What are your thoughts about what these guys had to say? What are your thoughts about some things I had to say, if that? And let's hear it. I want to know. I'm so excited. So I'm listening.
Hey Corey, it's Asante here, giving you some female feedback. Like I know that was for you. Okay. So yeah, just on the clip discussing men feeling more comfortable and feeling more relaxed when a woman treats them out on a date and them liking that. I feel like that's awesome. Honestly, I don't mind treating a man on a date, especially if I ask them out. Like if I ask you to hang out, then that's me letting you know that I'm footing the bill. But I think it all comes down to reciprocity. If you take me out one night, then I'll take you out the next, and just we can do it that way. If you're my man, I'm definitely going to cater to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mind doing that. I don't think it's that big of a deal. And we live in an age where reciprocity, I feel like, is definitely valued, and it's something that I value. So no, I don't mind treating you. But that first date, oh yeah, you're definitely pulling out that check. It's the first date, so yeah, don't think you can finesse that one.
And that's the show. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We are diving deeper and deeper down this rabbit hole of this construct called masculinity, this performance that is masculinity. And I am excited to just keep diving deeper and deeper and removing it and helping guys really speak their minds. It's a big part of what it is that I want to do this year. It's a big part of my 2018. And I just thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to this page. I want to grow it. I want more people to be able to see this content. So if you liked something that was said today, like it. The video, share the video, subscribe to the page so that way you can get updates when I upload new videos every week. And thank you guys so much again. See you next week, episode 4.